In this problem, we're asked to find a linear model for the cash flow per share for a particular company in 2 different years. Anytime you're asked to find a linear model, you need to think of this equation first. What this equation represents is given a specific dependent variable and independent variable and a rate of change, we can find then any independent variable that we can insert to find a dependent variable. In other words, these two things here, the x and the y here, they're actually not going to change. They're going to stay as variables. That allows us, if we were to graph this, to move around on the xy coordinate plane. This y1 and this x1, they represent a specific point of the graph, and this represents the rate of change, the slope. It's the rate of change. How much is it changing as we move around the graph? So we'll insert some numbers into these two and into the slope. It tells us that it wants us to start in 1995, with that being the time equal to 5. Now, time is an independent variable. It doesn't depend on anything. So they're really telling us what this number is right there. They're saying, let's let that be 5. They also told us what the price would be at that point. It was 18 cents. So we can go ahead and put that in. What we don't know here is how quickly it's changing. We know that 5 years after we started, it was 18 cents, but we don't know how much it's changing, so we need to find that. To find that, we have another equation, the slope equation. What the slope equation does for us, it finds a change in the dependent variables with regards to the change in the independent variables. Now again, time is always independent if time is one of your variables. So the change in the years will go here, the change in the price amount will go there. So we take that, we plug in the numbers, and after we subtract here and find the difference, we go ahead and divide, and we end up with about 48 cents per year that it's changing by. So that number then can be inserted right over here, and we'll have all of our numbers for our linear model. So we get our linear model by just plugging those numbers in, and this is a linear model. It's not simplified. To simplify it, we're going to distribute this to both places there, and then after we've done that, we'll move this 18 cents to the other side. Of course, that's going to be an addition to add the 18 cents to both sides in order to cancel out. So this will end up being brought over to the other side as well. After we've done this simplifying, it looks like this. There's a simplified linear equation. Now we can finish the question. That was the first part. The second part of the question was to then predict what the cash flow per share would be in the years 2008 and 2010. Now remember back here, if 1995 was the 5th year, then we're starting actually in 1990. So 2008, that would be 18 years later. So we go ahead and we're going to insert an 18 right there into our linear model to then predict what the price is going to be. We insert that. Again, we're going to multiply these. We'll subtract this, and it's about $6.47. This symbol here means about or similar to. We're going to use that because there was some rounding in the calculations prior to this. Last part says to go ahead and find it for 2010. That would be year 20. We'll do the exact same process. We're going to put a 20 in right here. We're going to simplify, and it's $7.43. And that is the end of the problem.